Now, if you caught my most recent short, you'll have seen that I just picked up the Sony 20-70G because it is now available here in Europe. And I had mentioned how excited I was because while I love shooting with primes, and that's what I mainly use, it can get super annoying when you're out traveling for the day and you just want a minimal setup because changing lenses in certain situations isn't ideal. Like when there's a lot of sand or dust or dirt or snow, it's not the best. So I figured this would solve a lot of my travel issues when I want a minimal setup, because the 20mm focal length is great for vlogging. I do it a lot. I'm doing it right now because I'm using the 20mm 1.8G, and I use the 85 a lot to get a lot of variety of shots. But this will even give me 35, it'll give you 50, and then you can have 70. And when you're able to get a variety of shots like that, that's when you're able to really create and put together some interesting storytelling visuals. So I figured today would be a great day to take out the lens, to vlog with it, shoot photos, videos, and then I can give you my first impressions and thoughts on if I believe this lens is the perfect one and done lens for a minimal setup.
Before we headed out to do some real world tests, I figured we would talk a little bit about the specs. Now, there's a lot of videos out there who talk about all the specs in depth, and I'm not going to do that because I really want to see how it works in the real world. But just for quick reference, it is an f4 lens all the way through their zoom range. And so we'll have to see if that does make a big difference comparatively to something like a 2.8 or 1.8, which is what I'm used to using. But for me, what I'm most interested in is the weight. So this lens, for reference, is 487 grams. And now for my North American viewers, that is approximately 1 pound. The A7 IV body is 682 grams. So that is about 1.5 pounds. So together, this combination is going to be 2.5 pounds, which I don't think is that heavy, but if you're out vlogging all day long, it could be for some people. I think I should be okay with that. So for reference, the lens that I like to vlog with the most is the 11, and it is a super light lens. You can carry it around all day. It feels like nothing. This lens is 181 grams, and in pounds, that is only 0.4 pounds. So this whole package here is only a little under 2 pounds. So comparatively, having that extra half pound can be a big difference. The other lens that I really like to use for vlogging, but also gives me great photos, is the 20mm G 1.8. It's probably my favorite lens that I've ever owned. And this lens is 373 grams, which equates to about 0.8 pounds, so just under a pound. And just so everyone has reference on what that actually means, this canna pop here is 358. So they are basically about the same weight. So if you think about this lens here is slightly heavier than a canna pop, and this lens here is lighter than about half of this canna pop. So that might give you reference on what the weight can be like. But enough of me sitting around chatting about what it's like and how heavy it is and all the specs. What we really care about is what the images look like coming out of it and how it feels to actually use the lens. So let's head out and explore the day here in Berlin.
So, of course, on the day that I decide to make this video, the weather here in Berlin isn't the greatest. I mean, it actually looks
way better on the camera than it is actually. It snowed a little bit, but at least we have some sun, so hopefully we'll get some nice light to really see what this lens can be capable of. I decided to start with today's video because it's the main reason why I bought it. I'm going to be using this lens for the city adventures when I'm traveling a new city, and it'll involve vlogging, a bit of photography, and some of that cinematic B-roll. But I do have a few other videos planned, one where I'm going to be focusing mainly on photography, and one where I'm going to be writing a little sequence and focusing on the video's capabilities. And then for fun, I thought maybe I would do a comparison of the 20mm focal length f4 of this lens versus the 20mm 1.8G to see if people can even really tell the difference between f4 and 1.8 and the difference in low light capability and all that good stuff. So if you want to see those 3 other videos coming to the channel soon, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss those when they come out. But right now we're just heading out to get some coffee and some breakfast so that my brain is actually firing on all cylinders so I can actually give a proper first impressions of this video. So we're just heading out to Kreuzberg to do that. Also, I hope that the sound sounds good because normally I'm using the Rode Micro on top of the camera, but today I thought I would use the DJI mic because Kat and I want to make sure we both have good sound. So for these sort of city vlogs, I thought maybe this setup could be good. So I'm just testing that out. Let me know how it sounds and if it sounds good. And also right now, this is at the 20mm focal length, f4, and active stabilization on. So that's why I like vlogging with it, because it's wide enough to let you see the environment a little bit, but yeah, it'll give me the option of punching in to 50 or 70 later on when we go somewhere that has something more beautiful to show off, which we're gonna do. So stay tuned for that. We're just gonna head off and get some breakfast right now. So one thing I quickly wanted to mention right away is I don't have a ND filter that can fit onto this lens, and while the light is nice and bright today, it's also proving to be a little bit challenging because I'm having to adjust my f-stop and my shutter speed, and it's all over the place today. I'm not sticking to any of the traditional rules, the 180-degree rule, none of that stuff. I'm just trying to get the best exposure to try to get a nice image. And speaking of image, so far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. From what I'm seeing from the back of the monitor, I think the colors are looking nice. The image is looking sharp from what I can tell. And I think because of all the different light and sun coming through, the flaring is well controlled as well. But I will say that extra 0.4 pounds comparative to the 20mm 1.8G, you can feel it. And especially because I've been vlogging a lot with the 11mm, it is almost a pound, like 0.8 of a pound lighter when it's on the 11. So the weight, you can feel it for sure when you're holding up for this long. But so far so good. We are fueled, and now we're gonna go get some more sort of landscape type shots, see what that looks like, trying out all the different focal lengths. And I think that has been my favorite part, is being able to just get so many different angles without having to swap lenses. So as far as this lens goes, let me just get my camera onto the tripod first. I think that a lot of people are going to be surprised by this lens, because when it first came out, I think a lot of people might have been a little bit confused as to why they were even making this lens, because there's already a lot of 24 to 70s that are out there, and even the 28 to 75 by Tamron, which is a great lens and a great price, which I've used before. But this lens is different and more versatile. A lot of people were also saying that, why buy this lens? Because it's an f4, just get the 24 to 105 and you have even more range. But again, you can't really vlog with that lens and then go in and get the types of shots that are a bit tighter, because 24 is just way too tight. And especially with active on, that lens at 24 is going to be more like a 26 or 27 around there. So vlogging with it is not ideal. But I had so much fun using this thing, because I could vlog quickly, and then when I wanted to jump in and get some tighter shots or different focal lengths to build a scene, it was super easy. And when I talked about the weight of it, it's actually not too bad. It is heavier for sure, like versus the 11, I could feel the weight. You can even see in some of my framings early on that I was holding it a little low because it was heavy. But at the end of the day, it is still a very compact lens for what it gives you. So that's the first impressions. I hope you like some of the video samples. I hope you liked some of the photo samples. I'm definitely going to make the separate photography video and the separate video, the separate video on cinematography, I guess, because I really want to dive deeper into each of those disciplines to really see what this lens is made of. So as I mentioned, those videos are coming. If you found this video useful and it helped you kind of get better insight on this lens, then don't forget to like and subscribe and share. That would be really, really helpful. And leave me a comment if you have any other questions that I might have missed while making that video. I was trying to get everything in, but definitely a lot to go through in just one video. So happy creating. Thank you for watching and for all the amazing support as of late. And we'll see you in the next one. So as always, live passionately and stay inspired. Bye. I thought it would be perfect. Woo, almost knocked over. So I figured,